Okay, the time is perfect. It's 11 o'clock, so it will be time to start our webinar. Now, first of all, thanks everyone to join our today's webinar. My name is Wake from DJI Solution Engineering team. I guess some of the audience already see my face. So today I will be the host, and it's a great honor for us today to invite two speakers, Taryn from the Dole, and also the Luke from the DJI, the business developer team, and for the DJI Dock. So first of all, I just want to have a quick introduction for Taryn, which is the global security director from the Dole Asia company, which is a very famous brand for the fruit, typically for banana and also the pineapple. So Tara has more than 30 years in law enforcement and corporate security. So Tara brings deep expertise in crisis management. And now Tara is the director and to support the integration of the technologies like the DJI drones, especially the DJI Dock, which is automatic the joint box solution, and into the dual supply chain, enhancing security, compliance, and also the efficiency across complex global logistics ecosystems. And also wanted to introduce, Tara is going to introduce the dual application with DJI Dock. And last year they have the DJI Dock 2, and this year they also introduce the DJI Dock 3, which is the latest the Dock system with the upgrade, the AR features. Look is the DJI, the BD, which is the business developer for the DJI Dock, and is leading the DJI Dock business in the APAC region. So Luke is going to introduce some of the key study summary and globally and across the security the scenario. So today's webinar is going to be the two topic. The first one will be Luke. Luke is going to introduce the DJI, the global, the key study for the 25, the first half year. And after that, Tara is going to introduce more details and how to use the DJI Dock for the security. So I'm going to glad to hand over to Luke. Luke, it's your turn.
Thank you, Vic, for your kind introduction. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. I'm Luke. Super excited to walk you through the latest updates to our DJI Dock and Flight Hub 2. And we will dive into 6 real-world cases from the first half year of 2025, including private security, police department operation, livestock farming, and plantation security. So let's jump right in the first part. DJI Dock 3 has been in the market for 6 months, and we are continuously enhancing the Flight Hub 2 to make it safer, more powerful, and easier to use. For customers who prioritize data security, we now offer Flight Hub 2 on-premise. It's a fully localized solution. We've also introduced a new AEC module, which enable 2D, 3D mapping, project management, volumetric measurement, and automated reporting. With Flight Hub 2, the entire workflow becomes faster, smarter, and fully automated. Feel free to get more details of Flight Hub user manual on our website. So let's start the first case study. In Thailand, DJI Dock 3 and Flight Hub 2 were deployed to protect endangered dugong. The solution automated patrols with 3 daily flights, real-time dugong tracking, and threat detection, mainly for illegal fishing and pollution. So it cut patrol cost by 20 times compared to boats and the traditional way, and also at the same time reduce human disruption. In Australia, Sunset Hill Farm deployed DJI Dock 3 with Flight Hub 2 and third-party farm management software to automate livestock monitoring and security. The solution integrated with existing GPS tags and water systems enable remote tasks like water tank check, animal tracking, and fence inspection, and nighttime security, which eventually replacing costly manual patrols and boosting efficiency. In South Korea, Daegu Smart City Center deployed DJI Dock 3 with a local third-party cloud platform to enhance urban security, focusing on women and children's safety during nighttime walks. The solution automated 24/7 patrols with rapid charging, prioritizing high-risk hours from 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. to detect criminal activities and provide real-time aerial insights. In Italy, Multiple Service Group deployed DJI Dock 3 with FlyHub 2 to upgrade private security operations. The solution automated 24/7 patrols for access control, asset protection, and transport monitoring. By integrating with alarming system, DJI Dock 3 can trigger fly to mission for rapid threat response, replacing static cameras and reducing reaction times to incidents. And in the US, the El Paso Police Department deployed 22 DJI Dock 3 units with FlyHub 2 on-premise to tackle transnational crime across 40 miles of complex borders. So the network enabled drones to act as first responder, accelerating emergency response times while facilitating multi-agency resources sharing between firefighters and other departments. And the last but also one of the most important case study in Philippines, Dole deployed DJI Dock 2 and Dock 3 with FlyHub 2 together with the CCTV and the push-to-talk system to secure its pineapple plantation during harvest seasons and nighttime. The solution combines AI-powered detection for human, vehicles, and fly-to-mission for rapid response to their threats, including protecting both crop and critical equipment assets. And the automatic patrols and the manual override ensure 24/7 coverage, reducing losses and enhancing operation security. So that concludes my part. Now let's hear from the field. I'm thrilled to welcome Tyron, Security Director of Dole Asia, who will share first-hand insights on how DJI Dock is used in plantation security. Tyron, over to you.
Thank you, Luke. Welcome, everybody. I'll just share my screen. And so I'm the Director of Security for Dole Asia Holdings. And as Luke said, I've started with Dole about June 2024. And since then, we've had a journey. And I want to take you on this journey because we've had some terrific experience with DJI, and we also have some results and return on investment I want to share with you. So let me take you through our journey. So Dole, most of you may know us. We're in many countries around the world. We are one of the leading producers of fresh fruit, in particular right here in Palomaloc in the Mindanao, the island of Mindanao in the Philippines. We have over 21,000 hectares. And so we have a large network supply chain across North America, Europe, and basically globally. We're a very large company when it comes to fresh fruit and vegetables. Right now, I'm discussing one part of our business, which is Dole Fill, and that's predominantly the pineapple business. As I take you through this journey, what I'd like to do is take you through a couple of areas, because I think it's really important that we share this with you if you're thinking about embarking on this type of program. Now, our journey, the question we ask is why did we need a new approach? And I'll address that. Then we'll look at the initiation or the planning process that we went through briefly. And then I'm going to take you through some of the technology of the Dock 2 and the Dock 3 that we utilize at Dole. Also, really important is the integration with other technologies. And of course, what I'm sure you'd like to know is how do we measure our success, performance, and the return on our investment for purchasing these drone docks, etc. And then I'll just briefly touch on the lessons that we've learned so that you guys don't need to make the same mistakes we've made. So let's take a look at what some of the challenges we face. One of the biggest challenges here is we cover over 21,000 hectares, and it's not 21,000 hectares in one place, although where we have the drones, pretty much it's called our base, and we have 15,000 hectares. So the majority we're covered, about 90%, I would say, of our major asset is covered by our drones. And as you can imagine, without controlled entry points, we're just like a massive big Costco or Walmart, but we have no walls and people can walk through at any time. That's one of the biggest challenges. And even with over 1,000 security guards, it's a massive challenge. And the risk of apprehension was so low for people if they decided to come into our area that they believed that the reward for stealing there was no risk until now. So let me just quickly step through our thought pattern on how we selected this technology. And so if you have a look at this slide, you'll look at our farms. We talked about 21,000 hectares. We have a lot of fuel management, obviously, a lot of vehicles moving, a lot of machinery. Fuel is something that is a commodity that is stolen often. Workforce integrity, we needed to be able to cover who's on our farms, our harvesting teams, our transporters, etc., any unauthorized access. Equipment security, we needed to look at how we can cover that. Fertilizer security, our spraying management, of course, then our facilities and our transport. And one of the things that we have is obviously a guard force, which has had limited capability inside our 21,000 hectares. So, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. We needed to find something that would support our guard force. So we looked at other things, the control room, very limited capability on supporting these types of initiatives. We then implemented the Zoho ERP. So we developed our own system so that we can support our teams. And once again, this was great for us. We can get real-time information, but not across the whole business. We implemented GPS technologies and fuel technologies. This is over the last 14 months. And then we also linked TAPA. So TAPA is a Transported Asset Protection Association. It's an international standard. But still, with all of these, we still do not have visibility until we implemented the DOC 2. And this DOC 2 covers everything. So combined with all the initiatives we have, it gave us a competitive advantage. So the selection of the DOC 2 as a strategic solution was the obvious choice. And we installed it in November 2024. We have 7 docks in operation with the Matrice 3 TD. So 6 of those are, as you can see in this slide, are situated inside a compound, but it's within our facilities. And 1 is mobile, but we're just moving that one up to our Upper Valley operation. And they are a 24-hour operation. But I want to just touch on now the technology overview. Before I get into what it did for us, let's have a look. We also had the DOC 3 installed. When we say a military detachment, there's a team of soldiers that live nearby our compound, and they support our business as well as the local brigade. So we just had this situated in their compound. And we're just going to go through some of the technologies, and then I'm going to show you how we use these technologies and the result. This video, as you can read there, demonstrates this distance, range, and capability. So the good thing about this is that we don't have to be right over the top of our plantations. We can be up to 1 kilometer away, and with the DOC 3, obviously a better zoom capability, we can be further away and still see what's going on. And now with the enhanced AI, we're looking forward to that in the future. Let's now move on to the next one. So the video here shows the features of the DOC 3. We utilize these features with the mission distribution. So this one demonstrates the drone flying to mission location, capturing the entire takeoff process and showcasing the rapid takeoff and speed. Particularly important with our pilots and with our responders. So if you can imagine, we have drone responders in the field, we have pilots inside the control room, and we have a operator, radio operator, trained operator in our eagle eye control room. So as you can see here, it's a quick response. The Dock 3 is a far quicker response than the Dock 2, but the Dock 2 is very good as well. So we can get up and out very, very quickly, and I'll talk a little bit about how we plan that in our planning within the control room. So the next one I want to take you through is to demonstrate the high technology zooming. Very important for what we need it for, because as you can appreciate, we don't want to have to fly all the way to the location to be able to see and identify what's going on. This Dock 3 achieves up to 112 times zoom, and it allows both long range zoom in and out performance. So we don't actually have to be right over it. We discussed that previously. We can look at this as one of our facilities, storages, where we've got our fertilizers, and we can travel 10 kilometers in any direction, but we can see up to 1 or 2 kilometers from any one location. So the next slide I'll take you through quickly is the advanced technology combined with the M4TD smart tracking system. We utilize this because we like to follow trucks and suspicious vehicles. Obviously, this is not a suspicious vehicle, but the AI capability gives our operator heads up on exactly what's happening, how many people, how many vehicles. I'm looking forward to the AI technology actually talking back to for example, our Zoho Creator program to do automated incident reporting, for example. So this is a tremendous advantage for our operators. And I think one day you'll probably find that there'll be less operators because it'll be all automated. But this video here, technology featuring laser range. So what we find is when we make apprehensions, we have to direct our teams on the ground to a location. And with the Dock 3, we're able to get an exact location and distance to where our offenders are. So our response teams on the ground, they have the capability of responding to the correct location, which is very, very important. And so this is a very important inclusion in the next generation of Dock drones for us. This one is nighttime. Of course, we do a lot of our flying at nighttime. We do a lot of our flying in the rain because the offenders in the fields, they think that we cannot fly in the rain, but the Dock 2 and the Dock 3 have a capability to fly at nighttime. We have a lot of fog here, so we can fly in the fog, nighttime in the rain. So really, they just can't hide from us with this system. The last one I want to show you is the drone flying along a predefined patrol route. Now, our operators are very good at planning their patrol route. We have an intelligence gathering mechanism where we know where our high risk areas are. We know where they need to be, and our drone operators set the path, and the drone does all the work after that. That combined with our radio operator and our people on the ground, we have a very advanced capability. When I talk about what we're doing, it's we call it a defense and depth capability. We talked about this. We have guards, we have a control room. Now we have far better capability because we have visibility because of the Dock 2 and the Dock 3. We now are utilizing our technologies much better with this capability within what we call our eagle eye control room. Far better capability. And to just give you a bit of an understanding of how we operate in the control room is that, our pilots, they're supervised 24/7. They're very well trained. So DJI and their vendor, ASY, have supported us with the training of our pilots. They set the flight plan in the Flight Hub 2, and then it's approved. So we capture all of that data in our Zoho, in our flight planning software, and we're looking at investigating how we can integrate these. So we have live monitoring, obviously. You saw that. And if we see any suspicious behavior, irregularities, we get the ground teams to proceed to those locations. And then we have apprehensions, and then we would submit that recording to the authorities, and the police would be caught. But let me share some of the actual results that we're having. So this one here, obviously you do not want stray animals eating your produce. So the drone is capable of identifying these very, very quickly, and we send teams out to make sure that they don't do too much damage to our crops. Unauthorized clothes hanging, might think nothing of this, but it actually damages our crops, and we can act on it very quickly. So we also have challenges with illegal settlers coming in to plant their crops on our land. We identify this very quickly, the drone. So it's not just apprehensions. We support the police and our own teams. We can get high level visibility for them so they can understand the extent of the threat to our business and to the community. Very important is our capability to identify fires, can wipe out plantations. For every hectare, we have 75,000 pineapples. So if you can imagine, we lose 1 hectare, there's 75,000 pineapple. So very important. Fruit on the ground, often sometimes, through the harvest process, we're left with fruit on the ground. There's a combination. Sometimes these fruit are stolen. So this will be something we pick up on. We get back to the operation. They then go and pick up the fruit. So now we have less fruit on the ground. We had a VIP just recently, a few VIPs visiting from overseas and the embassies, and we provide local support on the ground with escorts, and we also provide drone support to see if there's any threats. Another area that we look at is breakdowns, unit incident monitoring, so that we can see, we can report it quickly, and we can get support to the truck drivers and to our other business partners so that they're not stuck, because it's really important that this fruit gets back quickly so we don't compromise the quality of the fruit. Another area is, of course, apprehensions. We've had quite a few apprehensions, all because of this technology and supporting the team. More importantly for us, we keep our security team safe by understanding and having situational awareness in that environment. And so there's a couple of apprehensions of suspects. You can see they turn up on all sorts of modes of vehicles, and they want to take home some pineapple. It's not so bad. We understand that we will lose some. It's a large area, but some of the quantities that are taken are commercial quantities, and so that's no good for our business. So thanks to the DJI dock and the drone and everything we've put in place, we're able to mitigate. And I'm just going to show you the measuring our success and performance. So on the left here, you see from November we started in 2024. It took us 7 months from June to November to put the program in place. Now from November to May 2025, we were looking at development, training, we were looking at integration into our systems, collaboration across our network with our security, and we weren't that good at it. Honestly, we were learning. Our security teams were getting better, but we weren't as good. So you can see on the left where it says the attempted thefts, that's where we've interrupted people stealing, and we've found and we've recovered the pineapple. And the theft here, the green line, they were low, but they started to increase. So now they're low because our processes, our reporting processes were not in place. So we expect they were much higher, but this is real data that we've got in our system now. And as we started getting better at responding, at our communications, as we started getting better at our drone pilots became more proficient, you can see that there was an increase interceptions and arrests. So you can see that we started intercepting more people. And as a result of that, as our capability got better, we actually saw a significant decrease over the last 2 months, 3 months in the thefts and attempted thefts. In this short period of time, we've recovered 142,000 US dollars in fruit. So that's a massive return on our investment for this investment on the Dock 2 at Dock 3. And we anticipate that, we hope that that number goes down, to be honest, because people are starting to get the message that if you want to come here, it doesn't matter what time of day or night, we will find you, we will see you, and we will apprehend you. So this is what we are seeing, a massive change. Understanding these numbers are really important, and we've now have significantly less thefts as a result of this program. Now, my last slide, my last 2 slides is lessons learned. And I really do need to share this with you. A strategic drone placement is critical. We learned a lesson where we put our drones because the Dock 2, for example, instead of getting 10 kilometers, we were getting 8 kilometers. That 2 kilometers makes a difference because we put it in the wrong place, but we've actually found solutions for that. So we're working hard with our service provider, with DJI, to look at those. Nevertheless, it didn't stop us from doing the job. But this is something that you learn. Make sure it's in the right place. Robust communications and infrastructure. So we had to put that in place. Every drone has its own Starlink, for example. Advanced training yields better results. So the operators must be thoroughly trained, and we expect them to be trained. And our radio operators are probably, in my 30 years in law enforcement and corporate security, are some of the best, I would argue, in the industry. Local DJI support is a game changer. We have great support from DJI and their vendor, which is ASY. They're responsive, they're here all the time. We have a technical capability inside, and we work closely with them. So that's a great advantage. Supervision. You cannot put your drones and your operators in there unless you have good supervision and planning, intelligence gathering. That's what we've decided we needed, and we put in place. So the environmental factors, terrain, weather. So our teams need to be aware of all of this. And the beauty with this technology is that it supports that process. The dock will not fly if the weather doesn't allow it, for example. So the human being actually has some prompting from the technology. And then integration, we've had some tremendous success with integrating our security operations center, our communications, our drone operations through Zoho Creator to develop our own systems for escalation, instant escalation across the business as we're using the drone system. So let me finish on this. Our future plans, we have a lot of plans with this. Obviously, it all depends on budget, and we're like every business, we have to manage our expectations. But we will be extending. We've put our 7th drone up into Upper Valley. I think I mentioned that. We're starting to do that. We'll need additional. And then up north, Mindanao, and our North Min operation, we will also be looking at additional drones. We're also discussing with our teams in Sierra Leone and Africa, because the challenges they have there are similar to ours. Thank you very much for having me on, for your attention, everyone. So I'll hand it back to you now, Luke or Vic. Thanks, everyone, for your attention.
Yeah, thanks. Sorry, you are facing some of the network issues, but it's a really impressive case study. Thanks again. All right. We do have some time for some of the QA. The QA can both for DJI team, for the DJI hardware, or it's covered by the use case or the application questions to Terran. If you do have any questions, you can please feel free to put it in the chat box. We are going to check the questions and answer one by one. But after the webinar, we are going to edit the webinar recording, and we are going to upload to the YouTube channel. And after this webinar, we also send the follow-up email. We are going to send the recording from the YouTube and also the DJI Gold webinar and the link to review the today's webinar. Tori, I get this question. Probably I will answer first. The question is about how much area did one dock cover? I will
Yeah,
answer
great.
your number, and it probably can help to explain your actual experience. Like from our specs, the DJI Dock 3, if the signal is really good, if we consider the battery, it's probably we can cover around 7 to 10 kilometers. But we need very good the environment, no obstacle, open area. But this is the capability for the DJI Dock 2 or Dock 3. We could see around 10 kilometers as maximum the range coverage. But again, the real world is totally different. So Taran, probably you can share the actual experience for one dock coverage in Dole.
Yeah, look, I think that's a great question. Thank you for the question. We rely on that the capability, which is maybe up to 10 kilometers, but as you say, we're restricted by certain things, the geographic location and the location of our dock. But that we have overlapping capability. So if we put it in one facility, we know that if we go for 5 or 6 kilometers or 7 kilometers, the second drone can cover that same area. So we have this, I think it's in the planning, how you plan to use it. So 7 or 10 kilometers in each direction is great. It's good enough. But you'll need to plan how many drones you require. And we're looking a different platform, a different format, if you like, with hopping from one dock to another might be the next way we do the future of our program, because currently we have the docks in a big area with a lot of plantation, but up north our plantations are staggered. So we can't just take off and go 10 kilometers. It might be 50. We might need 3 docks with 1 drone or 2 drones. So we're looking at that, and I think you need to take that into consideration as you're planning moving forward.
Yeah, okay. So because the coverage is always the most important consideration or concern from the customer. So it's a really good question. I don't see any other questions, and also because we are right out of time. So probably this is gonna be the ending for today's webinar. Like I said, later we are going to edit the recording, and we are going to upload it to the DJI YouTube channel. If you do have the request, if you don't see the link or you can't find the recording from YouTube channel or DJI website, you can also send the email to the local DJI dealer. The dealer is going to forward the request to the DJI team. We are going to send the recording link later. Again, it's perfect time. We spent about 1 hour to introduce very successful the use case or story from that one we probably cannot. But if you do, basically later we are going to talk with the Tara whether we can share the contact. We do know your questions. I do have your email. Probably we are going to share your email to Tara, and Tara is going to check whether they are going to be able to contact. Yeah, we do get the questions. Again, thanks everyone for joining today's webinar, and also thanks Tori and also Luck and for your time and also your successful sharing today. So I would say we are going to close today's webinar.
Thank you, Tyron.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate the opportunity. Have a great day.
That's very impressive. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.